Welcome, Bearcat fans, to UC Bearcats on the Prowl. As always, I'm your host, James Ernest, along with my co-host, Dominick Goodman. Goody, how are you doing this week?
I'm doing good, especially with Bearcats getting the win this weekend. How about you?
Doing great. It was nice to see them out there. It was a heck of a good game, very competitive. It was, it was a nice one, and it's always good to get the win at home, something you need, especially for bowl eligibility. When you played there at UC, did you ever play against ECU?
No, I never got a chance. The years I was there is when they just left the Conference USA, where they did play ECU. We went to the Big East, so we didn't get a chance to play them.
Okay. So, yeah, kind of that in-between time. Like you said, the Conference USA and all was a neat conference they had going there for a while. I mean, heck, UC, it seemed like they almost won everything in that conference. And then going to the Big East, which you all had some really good times there. So let's see. They had actually everybody seemed to pick up their game this last week. Nice running yards, nice passing yards. The defense played tough.
Got a kill. I was really impressed with Gunner Kill, how he handled himself during the game, making a lot of good throws, key throws, on certain downs, and seeing receiver Lewis getting 3 touchdowns for over 100 yards with 11 touches. He had an outstanding game, and
he's emerging as a potential superstar for him. He's had some really
he is. I've been watching him play, and I like his game. He's nice. Seems like he plays the ISO receiver, isolation a lot, so he does a good job getting open.
Exactly. They even a couple times tried giving him the ball on end arounds. That was nice to see them just trying new things and mixing it up.
Yeah, that's especially with the talented receiver like that, you gotta find ways to give them the ball a different way.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, if you can't get the ball in their hand, they can't make the plays. And I think that was part of the problem the first couple of weeks with UC, just with the instability at quarterback from injuries and other concerns, not being able to be on the same page. Okay. Have you ever had that in your career where you've had changes in quarterbacks and just take time to get used to a new quarterback?
Yeah, all my years at UC, I had a different quarterback each year. In my first 2 years, it was a battle with Dustin Grusa and Nick Davila. They battled it out, so we had a mixture of them during the season. And it's kind of, and then the rest of the year, we had Grusa, we had Pike, we had Zach Flores, Chaz Anderson, and even Demetrius Jones stepped in and filled in. And it's kind of they throw different balls, so it can kind of be weird, and you got to adjust as a receiver. Some put touch on it, some don't. So, but after a while, that's why practice is really important. Make sure you get all the reps with them, so it's how each quarterback throws and how they like the way they place the ball and all that.
Makes sense. I mean, shoot, a lot of people make the analogy kind of a pitcher and a catcher situation, like in baseball, where, I mean, different pitchers have different throwing styles, the curveball, the fastball, that kind of thing. And like you were saying, different quarterbacks, having like different touch, or if they're more of a lobber or a speedball guy. So that makes sense.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
But on the bright side, it sounds like you had a lot of good quarterbacks that you got to work with at UC.
Yeah, that's what made it great, and that's what helped us be successful. Especially when you have a lot of good quarterbacks like that, that make each other compete every day at practice, and each of the quarterbacks, any given moment, anytime they get a chance, they can shine. And that's good as a coach and as an offense and as a receiver to know that you have quarterbacks that can, no matter which quarterback it is, they still gonna keep the ball game moving.
Exactly. Yeah, the UC game this week, I mean, like you said, they had a nice offensive attack, and and Coach Prunty on the defense has been doing really well this season after last year they're having some instability on defense. But yeah, they've definitely stepped their game up. They were concerned about, the defensive line and how young they were going into it. But yeah, they've had a really nice season. And then, for example, this game, was pretty close all the way across the board. I mean, other than the second quarter, both teams had similar scoring opportunities.
Yeah.
And then, of course, it's nice to see the running game step up. I mean, they 177 yards. If you tell me they're going to do over 100 yards in the game going into it, I'll definitely take that any time.
And I really think that's what they needed for this that running game to set the tone for them. To help get the ball, to help kind of kill, especially with keeping that defense honest.
Oh, definitely, yeah. I mean, that's got to be huge. With your league, I know they don't typically run as much. How do you all keep the defense honest in that situation in the AFL where there's not as dominant or prominent of a running game? Do you use more shorter passes, longer passes, more? What's the trick with that? You do. You mix it up with like little short passes, quick game, we call it, with hitches and slants. But also, what's big, we kind of really keep them honest because you have you only on front line. You got 3 down linemen and a Mac linebacker and a jack, and the jack can go side to side. And when that jack goes side to side, it kind of leaves that fullback open for a screen. We might set it up with a screen or set it up with a little run just to keep that jack in the box so where he's not interfering with any of our short routes. Oh, okay. That makes sense. Yeah, to be able to have that option.
Yes.
So in the AFL, you need more of a versatile running back, I would guess.
Yeah. Typically, some of the fullbacks are like real guys that play fullback in college, or just we use athletic linemen, especially up in Cleveland for the Cleveland Gladiators. Philip Keith Manley, he's also from Cincinnati. He played on fullback, and he's a big lineman, so he played it real well this past season.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I was going to say, anytime Bearcats doing well is always a good thing. Good to hear. But yeah, definitely getting that so a nice, well-rounded athlete. Sounds good. Yeah, like heck, when we had CJ on a couple weeks ago, he had mentioned about how he had gotten a couple touchdowns and a couple passes, that kind of thing. So,
yeah, we always laugh about that, like, 'cause we was roommates when we traveled, so he would always talk about what he's going to do if he scored. He always be overthinking, like, I was asking me how to catch the ball, and just always asking me questions, just be so nervous. And but I used to tease him, but he did good. He did good for us.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's always nice to have someone to bounce your ideals off of. That always helps. Well, we're going to take a 30-second commercial break for the Grueling Truth Network. Welcome, Bearcats fans, back from the commercial. James Ernest and, of course, Dominick Goodman here covering the upcoming Bearcats Temple game. Looks like it should be a good one. I mean, it's been a little bit of a up and down season for the Bearcats, but they're still got potential for a nice bowl game. Goody, what was what was your favorite bowl game that you were in?
Of course, Orange Bowl.
Oh, heck yeah, that's always nice.
Yeah, everybody wants to be in the bowl game where it's sunny and nice and beautiful instead of being in the cold.
Exactly, yeah, because I can imagine, when somebody goes, yeah, you're in the Motor City Bowl. It's nothing against the Motor City Bowl, but that time of year, it's cold up there. So
yeah.
So let's see. UC is playing Temple this week. A lot of people are predicting Temple to win.
Yeah, I see. I don't know. I feel like UC still, like I said, they getting better each game, and Gunner Kill had a good game last game, and their running game getting on track, and a lot of guys is emerging at the receiving core and defensively. They're making the stops, and so it's like I feel UC
UC could win this one. I agree with you that it's just taken some time for the team to come together. That unfortunately the whole training camp didn't work out the way they would like, but throughout the course of the season they have definitely got onto the same page, either through modding, maybe the playbook, or changing up the blocking schemes, or just finding the right combination of players. I mean, I'm sure that's happened to you where there's been times that there's, certain players that you work better with than others. They know how to read your blocks better, or they know, which way, you're going to break. They're able to time your routes, that kind of, important stuff. So, it's just one of those things that it seemed that they've caught on. It's just after last year with them losing to Temple, of course they're going to have to go in there and, prove something.
Yeah, like you said, they playing a ball game, so they basically every game counts. So this one especially counts. Like you said, people got them losing, but like I said, they're getting that chemistry now, and it's all about finding that gel. And you mentioned before, the injuries occurring on the team, and with Moore down, and then the other quarterback was down, and
players stepping in and stepping up. I'm sure that's happened to you before, where that whole next man up philosophy. Can you think of a time where you had a player or a teammate that went down, but then the other fella kind of stepped up and was able to at least do as good, if maybe not even better than the previous fella?
We got an incident where in Oklahoma, we was playing Oklahoma, and Grusa came off a game against EKU. Had a real good game. In Oklahoma, he was doing good. We was actually, I think we was winning, or we was close at half. I can't remember, but and then at halftime he gets hurt. Hurts his leg, breaks his leg, I think, and breaks his ankle. And Pike had to step in. It was Pike's first snap, and et cetera, and then that's when Pike emerged, and then that's all it wrote from there. You seen what Pike did his career.
Nice, excellent. So kind of like how last year when Gunner Keel, he went down, and Hayden Moore stepped in against Memphis and threw for, the record 500 and some odd yards. Well, I would like to welcome the better late than never, Mark Buckmaster, to the show.
Hey,
Mark,
man, sorry, guys.
We're busy doing double duty, covering the Bearcats with, was it Joe Kelly's over in London this week?
Yeah, Joe Kelly's over in London, so I filled in over on the Bengals show with Mike Goodpaster and Charles Alexander.
Of course, Dominic is with us tonight. Unfortunately,
Good.
Anthony Hope wasn't able to make it due to complications, but we will definitely have him on a future show. We were just breaking down the Temple game. Mark, do you have anything to input? What's your opinions? What do you see, for the Temple game?
Well, I think with Gunner Keel in there, the offense is totally different. And we saw that on Saturday, against ECU. It was a totally different offense because he opens up so much more with the strength of his arm, with his knowledge of the offense. And I think he's going to be able to guide the Bearcats through this tough Temple defense. And I do believe he's going to be able to get him out of there with the W, a much-needed one. But, so I think it's shaping up well for Saturday. So obviously we have to see what happens when they play, but I think Gunner's going to be that little extra advantage that we need.
Exactly. Yeah, Goody was just saying something similar to that about how the team has come together and starting to gel. I mean, how they, like you were saying with Keel, how the offense being open, now they're able to run the ball better as well because
exactly
the defense has to respect the pass.
And
then, like you were mentioning, the importance of this game. Right now they have 5 games left, and of course they need to win at least 2, if not more, games to be bowl eligible. So that would be nice to see. Temple, BYU, which it's nice to get BYU and Memphis at home. So they should be able to win, at least 1 of the 2 at home, and they need to win at least 1 of the 3 on the road. So if they can do that, and then obviously, if anything more than that would be, icing on the cake or cream, whatever term you want to use.
I just think with the improved offense with Gunner, I think this is one that they can sneak in and steal. Now I don't know if with Hayden Moore, I don't think I'd be able to say that. But definitely with Gunner Keel, I think this one they're going to be able to go in there and take this one from the Owls.
Sounds good. So what score are you predicting?
Gosh, I haven't gotten to see much of Temple. I just see what they've got statistically for them. Again, good defense. I think the Bearcats can put up 28. I think their defense can hold them to about 14-21. We'll have to see what happens, But I think 28-21, 28-14, somewhere in that range.
Sounds good. Goody, what do you think?
Well, I got around 24-17.
Yeah.
Bearcats.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think it's going to be, shoot, both of them. The defense has been doing so well. I think it's going to be a lower scoring game. And because, of course, I'm the contrarian in the group, I'm going to say Temple 21, UC 17.
Okay.
Okay, I'm wrong again, but,
no offense. I hope you're wrong, too. So
exactly. After last year's performance, Temple is just they've been playing really strong the last couple of years on the defensive side. Let's see. So we're going to go to a commercial break for the Grueling Truth Radio Network, and then we're going to come back and we're going to talk a couple minutes on Bearcats basketball, just lightly touch on it, and then mention the upcoming guest. Coming back from the commercial, Mark Fightmaster and Dominick Goodman are joining us. I'm James Ernest, your host, and we're going to switch over to the new topic of UC Bearcats basketball. The nice thing is the season's going to be starting soon. They recently just did their Noon Madness, which is odd. I miss the good old days of Midnight Madness, but, things have changed. Mark, what do you think about the upcoming season?
Well, this is going to be an interesting year. This is a senior-heavy team, and they just had the American Conference Media Days, and UC was actually picked ahead of UConn to win the conference. It may have been by like 1 or 2 votes if I remember reading that right. But looking down their starting lineup, it's going to be a good group. We got Troy Copain coming back as the point guard. You got Kevin Johnson coming in as the shooting guard. They're both seniors. And then you've got Quadri Moore, who's a junior, and Gary Clark, who's a junior. And then you have the young man who transferred in from NC State. His name's Kyle Washington. He's a redshirt junior. This is an experienced team. Now, Gary Clark's been playing a lot since his freshman year. Troy Copain, he handles the point well, but he's also a point guard that can score. So it's nice having that. Kevin Johnson, hopefully he can start draining some of those threes and open things up, open up the middle for the big guys. It's going to be an interesting season. It's going to be a lot of fun. They also, we were talking, they got some national publicity. They're ranked 25th in the preseason AP poll. So the chance is there for this to be a very good season. Now, the thing is, we're getting used to that here. You know, as UC fans, I think it's been, 6 straight NCAA appearances or even more than that. But, you know, we kind of get used to the winning, and people like to bang on Mick Cronin a little bit for some of his decisions. But I think things are shaping up for it to be a pretty good season for him.
Right. Goody, when you were at UC, did you end up going to any of the Midnight Madnesses?
I never really had a chance to. A lot of them we're an athlete. You had to balance the studies and practice. So I was always in study table.
I read that you were really phenomenal at basketball when you were in high school. Were there ever any thoughts about going Bo Jackson, Deion Sanders, Dominic Wilkins, or no, it wasn't Dominic, it was Dave Winfield, my bad, and doing multiple sports?
I thought about doing it in college. Actually, I was approached my freshman year by Coach Kennedy about it. And at the time, I was just so wanting to be focused on football and just focusing on my studies, so I didn't really pursue it.
Nice. I was going to say that's always good, you know, when a student athlete realizes their priorities. I ain't gonna lie to you, shoot. I know a lot of people would have been just like gung-ho and been like, oh, yeah, shoot, we'll try it. But you're right. If, you know, you go in there and doing both sports and it, you know, takes away from the football, which is the whole point of being at use, well, the education, of course, and then the football, then, you know, what's the point in doing that? So I see what you're saying there. That makes a lot of sense. Let's see. So, I mean, did you get to catch any of the games or anything with being a student? Because I know students,
yeah,
universities get free tickets, some get discounted tickets. It just depends on, you know, the popularity of the programs.
Yeah, I used to go to a couple of games, especially the big ones, especially when I was in the Big East. I've seen a lot of games when they played on Villanova, Syracuse, Louisville. Basically every team they played was a good game, so it was a lot of fun when it was in the Big East, watching them being at them games and all that.
So there was probably a lot of camaraderie between the programs, like they would come to your games, you'd go to their games, that kind of thing.
Yeah, because they be at our games. We all knew each other. We all because we all stay in the same dorms, so and we had study tables and we always see each other, so it's pretty much we all support each other, and we all got to share the same dream. So
nice. So kind of like one big Bearcat family.
Exactly.
Excellent. Speaking of the Bearcat family, of course the women's basketball is going to start up as well, and I can imagine, shoot, Mark. You know, obviously we know who was voted number one in the AAC.
Yeah, that's UConn. They're probably voted number one in the world. You know, the way they've been playing. They're a top-notch program. UC, they're going to be a young program, you know, and they're going to have to play hard to fight their way into the postseason. You know, there's always the chance of the AAC tournament, and then also, you know, if they can put together a good solid season, they'll be able to draw some eyes. So, you know, one thing about being in the league with UConn, you get to play them. So, you know, you never know, might upset them, you know, and might draw some attention that way. So, it's been rough in the past. Hopefully, it's going to get a little bit better this year.
Yeah, because they are like you said, a young team. They've got 2 juniors and 2 seniors. That's all that experience level they have. So that is going to make it tough. But yeah, if anybody can do it, Coach Elliott.
Mm-hmm.
And then like you said, the experience from playing the top-notch schools. UConn got every first place vote. You know, 32 out of 32. So that's that's saying something. And then they also have another school that made the top 25 for the women's, South Florida.
South Florida, okay.
Yeah, so they'll have definitely at least 4 big games this year. You know, 2 home, 2 away. That'll definitely be worth checking out. I mean, even, if not to go support the UC ladies, to be able to see future WNBA stars.
Yeah, possibly. It's we have a good opportunity. UC's got a lot of good sports. We got a lot of good sports in the city. Hopefully it's something that people are going to be able to go out there and give them some support.
Definitely. Sounds good. I was going to say, Dominic, did that how'd the crowd, do you feel that they impacted the games when you played at Nippert?
Yeah, they do. The fans really impact the games a lot, especially being in the NIP. It just gave that, the away team that my buddy from South Florida would always tell me when they used to come up and play us. He just always talked about how the fans is just that roar and just that everybody doing that, you see. It was just a thrill. It was a good atmosphere.
Definitely. So hopefully the fans will keep that nice atmosphere up. And, UC fortunately Nippert got the renovations this last season, or 2 seasons ago, and then I hear Fifth Third Arena is going to be getting some renovations, so we got some good stuff coming in the future for the Bearcats. And speaking about good things in the future, next week we have Brandon Mitchell. The following week we have Terry Nelson on basketball and Terrell Birdman on football. So we've got some fun, interesting people coming up for Bearcats on the Prowl. I'd like to thank, of course, my co-host, Mark Fightmaster and Dominick Goodman. And I'm James Ernest signing off. And go Bearcats.